Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Are you having a good morning today? Come on in, man. Look, we're just getting started. We're just getting ready for the morning market watch. Excuse me. We're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Y'all awake? How you doing? Where you watching from? If you could do me a favor, man, just share this real quick. Share this to your folks. Share this to your people. Share this to your timeline. It is Wednesday, February 9th, 7 a.m. I did a video last night just talking a little bit about learning the some of the business aspects of investing in finance, and this is one of those videos. This is one of those sessions. This might go really quick, or this may be really long. So either way, it's going to be good, and I hope you get some value out of it. So yeah, we're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. And we're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Hey, man, YouTube folks. Hit that share, hit that like. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And, the bell thingy, the bell thing. Do the bell thing. You know how you do when you find your favorite YouTube video or your YouTube channel. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. We're just going to give some people a few minutes to jump on. Then we get started. All right, just checking to see how it sounds, checking to see how it looks. Seems to me like it's working okay. So very good, very good. Hope all is well. We'll just give some few minutes to for some folks to come on, and while you do, enjoy this music, y'all. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone who's joining us, who's watching this video on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you might be catching this on a rebroadcast or, man, good morning. I'm glad you're hanging out with me. So glad, so glad, so glad, so glad you're here. So glad you're hope you're doing well. Are you doing well? Hey, do me a quick favor, wherever you might be watching from, just put it in the comments. I'm kind of checking out some of these comments and some of the folks that are jumping on, and yeah, just gonna give you a shout out. That's all. Just want to give you a shout out. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and do me a big favor, man. Throw this in somebody's DM or share it to your timeline or, all the things, man. This is going to be my first early morning session on Facebook. I've been doing live YouTube videos, live streams every morning around 7 a.m. for the last several days. And we're going over some of the different aspects of market, business and finance, cryptocurrencies. If that's something you're interested in, then stick around, because this is going to be a good video for you to learn maybe a new skill set, maybe learn something that you're not into. But man, who's not into cryptocurrencies these days? We're going to be looking at the financial charts and some of these things and trying to make sense of it all. And if you ever heard of day trading, we're going to look at some day trading ideas. There's a group that I've been mentoring and teaching and just kind of walking through together some of the different aspects of like the market watch. You see these guys on CNBC all the time, man, talking about it. And So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're looking at the Dow Jones. We're looking at the Nasdaq. We're looking at a couple of different things that's going to hopefully give us some insight on how to make sense of it all. Like, this is all still new to me, so I'm fairly new. I've been looking at this kind of thing from April 2021, so coming up on close to a year. And yeah, so we're just gonna check it out. We're gonna see what we can do. All right, so real quick, just give me a sec. Real quick. One of the things you're gonna understand about, I'm gonna go ahead and start, and whoever catches it. Hello, good morning. So yeah, we're about to start. Here we go. My mother is in the house. Hello, good morning. It's early. All right, so here's a long position. Okay, I'm just getting set up on something here. Something is happening in the market right now, so I'm looking at it. Y'all want to check it out? All right, let's check it out. Ready? Bam. There it is. All right, so you can see what I'm looking at on my computer screen. What is going on? What is all this stuff on this chart, man? This chart is giving us some information for real. If you're new to like investments, if you're new to like, people are talking about cryptocurrencies, and people are talking about, the news is talking about currencies, and the news is talking about, like the value of our dollar and how it is fluctuating, or somebody is trying to get you to sign up so that you can be a part of something that, you can make money real quick, real easy with crypto. Let me just tell you, there ain't nothing easy about it. There ain't nothing easy about making money or catching. In our sense, we just teach catch pennies, man. Just catch pennies. Let me see this, 31. So when you're catching pennies, it's like, every penny, a penny a day, a penny a day is what we're trying to get. But in the market, a penny is something that can grow substantially in a matter of moments. So if this is your first time and you want to make sense of something like this, then I want to teach you. I want to teach you what I've learned. I want to give it away to you. I want to share it with you. I want you to understand it. I want you to do it. I want you to experiment. I want you to discover maybe a new skill set that you didn't know you had. If you would have told me back in January or February of 2021 that I was going to be teaching this concept, I would have been like, nah, man. I would have been like, no, dude, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do that. No, it was just because it just looked confusing. It looked daunting. It looked like something that was not attainable for me. And after a course of several attempts and several failures, 716, and after several dollars invested, I think I am to the point where it's just now starting to make a little bit of sense. And so that's what I want to share with you. So what are we looking at here? Okay, I'm just going to dive right in. I'm just going to give a few more moments for people to join in, but I think if they want to check it out, they can just watch it on the replay. Just go ahead and rewind it a little bit. You don't have to go far. Okay, what are we looking at? Well, what we're looking at is a chart, and this chart is telling me several things. Oh, I think somebody just woke up. Hello, good morning. You got my message? Okay. Shanna D is up, but she's gonna move slow. She's moving slow. It's okay. So let me start from the top. What is this thing that we're looking at? This is a price chart. And if I zoom in real close, you're gonna see this little like bar. You're gonna see this little they're what's called a candle. Okay, it's called a candle. Why is it called a candle? Well, because if you look, it has these little tiny lines at the top, right? And those are was price. And the big part, the thick part of this bar, which is here, right, which is there, that's called the body. What does that mean? Well, if you look off over to the side here, where my arrow is going, it's indicating a price. So, and at the bottom there is time. Okay, there is time. There is time. There is price on this side. Okay, and these candles are indicating what price has done. Each one of these candles represents 1 minute. If you look up here, this is your time frame, right? Selector, I guess. And right now I'm on a 1 minute time frame. Okay. And I'm gonna try to go slow for the new folks. Some of the advanced folks are like, "What? Go ahead and get to the thing, man. Tell us what are you thinking, man? What do you see? Hold up. This is important because you have to teach what you know. If you're not good at teaching what you know, then you may not really fully understand this thing. So it's good to just go back and refresh and just explain it. But this time frame is important because each one of these candles is telling me in 60 seconds what price has done and what is currently happening right now. Okay, and you can see this little candle here is kind of going up and down, and that is the market. That is the fluctuation of the market. And currently we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. And if you don't know what the Dow Jones is, that is the top 30 companies, top earning companies in the US. Okay. This website is CNBC. This is a great website to understand some of this stuff. Okay. Yeah, CNBC, man, they're giving you a lot of good information for free. And what we're looking at is pre-market. What's going on in the pre-market? And they'll throw some breaking news up here, right? So we just kind of keep an eye on it, right? We don't really base a lot of what we're doing off of that, but we do look at it. We do consider it. Okay, so if each one of these candles represents a minute, I can go back in history and I can look at different times. Okay, don't worry about all the other things that you see like on the screen right now. I'll explain what that is. Okay, so each one of these represents a time, a minute, and I can go all the way back. So it's 7:18. I'll go all the way back. Here is an hour ago, 6:18. So you can see how price. This is price. This is called price. The action of price. How has price acted? How has the Dow Jones value, or how is the value of it fluctuated up and down? Right? It goes up. It goes down. Okay. So that's what this chart is. That chart is telling me what has happened in the past. And if I zoom way out, and don't get scared because it's gonna get pretty squishy. Okay, it's gonna get pretty squishy. All right, so if I zoom way out, I can see a lot of information. Okay, so here is 3 a.m. right here where this line is. Okay, and this crosshairs. Okay, so that's 3 a.m. Well, as At 3 a.m., that's when London session, because they're so much ahead of us in time. That's when their stock market opens, or that's when they start, moving the market and stuff like that. Okay, so here is, let's see, here is midnight. This is right at midnight. Let me scoot it over so you can see it. Yeah, so here's midnight right here. And all these little candles, all these little price bars, you can see that they're red and they're green. And you can see that when they're green, they're going up in price, right? Green candles mean prices going up, 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 right? And red candles mean what? Exactly, down. Good morning. The little ones are awake. Okay, they're waking up early today. Today's gonna be a great day. Today is gonna be an amazing day. Okay, so you can see that price has kind of shot up, and then it just kind of start going straight. There's some ups and downs in there, but for the most part, it's been going straight up until just right here, as I was talking to you at 7:10. At 7:10, price shot up. So that's called a break in structure, or a break in price action, or a break out of consolidation. It's kind of like, price goes up, that's easy to identify. When price goes down, that's easy to identify. But how do you know if you're just going sideways? You have some ups and some downs, but really no breakthroughs, or breakdowns. So what I look for is those breakthroughs. I look for breakthroughs. And when I see a breakthrough, that tells me that there is some momentum in that particular direction. Now, price can break up, it can break down. We just don't know. We don't know what is happening or what's going to happen, because, it's hard to do that. It's hard to tell the future. You got to have some good coffee if you're going to be looking at this thing. Okay, that's why I got music playing, because there are some folks, man, they get real excited about this stuff, man. They get real excited. And you might know some folks like that. They're real excited. They get very enthusiastic. And what I've learned is just chill, man. Just watch price print, man. When I say print, watch it print on the chart, because once it prints, it's permanent. You can't go back in time and change what happened at 6:10 a.m. because what happened at 6:10 a.m. is permanent. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And all this is doing is just telling us a story. It's telling us a story, because what this represents, is the people. It represents the people who invest into these companies, right? Or it indicates, or it tells us a story about what's actually happening with the company itself, that make up these companies that make up the Dow Jones 30, right? And it's kind of like just indicating the psychology of people, right? Because people make up the value of these companies. How? By purchasing their products or their services, or when they go to Walmart and they end up spending more than they anticipated or planned, right? So that's why the value of Walmart is going up today, I guess. So but you also have different companies like Coca-Cola, Caterpillar, Home Depot. Shout out to Home Depot. Come on, man. You got Apple. So you can go and you can buy stock in these different companies. You can go and do that. You can open up your favorite stock exchange app and buy those stocks in those different companies, which I do. I look at this and I still do that. That's one way of investing. But another way is by entering into a market as a day trader. And I don't know if you know anybody that does day trading, and if they, how they found it or how they do it. But man, it's one of those skill sets. Really, I really am fascinated by it because, like I said in another video, I'm a musician, and I feel as though it takes the same kind of skill set to catch these pennies as it does to catch melodies, or to understand an instrument. This is an instrument. Money is an instrument. Money is a tool. And I play instruments, so I understand the language of musicianship. And one of the key factors of musicianship, the real gift of musicianship, is patience. Patience to learn. Patience. So that's what this requires, is patience. Just watching this happen and knowing when there is a moment and catching a moment in the market. I should call this morning moments in the market or something like that. Ah, that's good coffee. That's really good coffee. You gotta have good coffee if you're gonna be doing this. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. And if you want to buy me some, you can get it at HEB. All my folks down in South Texas, come on, hook it up. And my favorite is Rio Grande. I also like San Antonio, but Rio Grande is the stuff. Okay. So that's the basic of what is going on this chart. Okay. So now for a little bit more advanced approach. Okay. I actually entered into the market as this price broke above this, call it a range, right? This range right here, where it was kind of making these ups and downs, but really not having a breakout, right? After just coming out of a breakout, a huge breakout here, right? It broke out of this little up and down area here and just went up. Well, how likely is it that it's going to continue up? Pretty likely, if you ask me. And so that's the thing about doing these kinds of things. There's a lot of mathematics and there's a lot of arithmetic that's involved, I'm sure. But interpreting it, like the old saying says, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Well, in this case, price direction is in the eyes of the beholder. So people are going to look at this and say, man, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, and it's going to just go sideways. It's an art, man. It's an art. How well can you decipher what's going on? Well, there's a few things you can do. You can look at news, which is one of the things we do. We look at news. I go to this website, myfxbook.com, and it tells me exactly what time, what country, and how much impact it's going to have on our market. If it's going to have a high impact, then brace yourself. Or if it's going to have a low impact, or a medium impact, right? So news has the ability to affect our markets. So that's why, it's good to just kind of keep it in mind, just understand what's happening. Excuse me. So that's what price is doing. And I found it interesting that for the majority of the time, it's just kind of moving sideways, Okay, so if I want to show you what this same chart looks like. And instead of each candle being 1 minute, I want it to be an entire hour. Okay, so now each one of these bars here, let me do something real quick so I can see it on the higher time frame. Okay, each one of these bars now represents 1 hour. Okay, so I clicked up here in this top little row. And by the way, this website is called TradingView. You can go get it. It's free. You can sign up, give them your email, and you can kind of look at all the different charts that they have available. Okay, so on the hour time frame, I'm able to look at a higher view. Like if I were to zoom from a higher perspective, I'm on the minute. I'm kind of looking at each house or uh, each price, each minute, like real intricately. But if I zoom out to an hour, I can see the whole block. It's kind of like Google Earth if you have this kind of imagination, right? Google Earth, I can look at one house, I can look at an entire block or a neighborhood. And then if I go to a 12 hour, now each candle is going to represent 12 hours. Here, let me get rid of some of these lines that might be, be making you nervous. Hold on one second. Okay, they're gone. I know. Sometimes it gets like, whoa, what is that? Okay. So now I even took a higher view. Now I'm in an airplane. Now I can see cities. Okay, now I can see like from very high perspective, a higher time frame. Okay. Okay, so man, I can see all the way back to December when the Dow Jones just made this huge dip here, right? And then did like an up move and then a down move, and it just made these bigger moves. It's like, whoa, big moves, right? Okay, but inside each one of these candles, right, are 12-hour candles, are 12 1 hour candles that make this one 12-hour candle, right? And inside of that 1 hour, each 1 hour, are the minutes. I hope you're understanding this. Okay. I think you are. Y'all are intelligent. Y'all are smart, man. Well, we can take even a further zoom out view, a mile high view, right? So instead of each one of these candles being a 12 hour, we can make each one of these candles be a week. So here is a week. Look, is okay. So for the week, each one of these candles now represents one full week. And the first thing I know you're noticing is this large dip in the market. Well, if you look closely at that date starts at February 17th, 2020. I know it very well. It was a Wednesday. And it was the day that they announced coronavirus has hit our planet. And here is March 2020. Here is where March really took a dive, man, just sunk the market. And then you can slowly see a recovery being made, and each one of these takes a week to print. Okay, so roughly 4 5 weeks, sometimes some. Here's 1 2 3 4. Yeah, so 4 weeks, 5 weeks make an entire month. So we're flying through the year when we're looking like this. But what does this do? How do you use this information to make these decisions on whether or not the stock or the investment that you're looking at is going to go in which direction, right? Well, you look and you try to decipher what's known as a trend. If you can find a trend, then you can formulate, really it's an opinion, but you can formulate an opinion. Okay, so my opinion based on this right here is that price goes either up, down, or sideways. In this case, price is going up. Why? Because this line is telling me there's a trend that's going up on the weekly basis. Well, if I make this, okay, and there's several different ways you can look at this. This is just one. But if I go back to my hour, okay, if I go back to my hour, now each one of these candles is representing an hour, okay? And there is my weekly trend line right here, okay? There's my weekly trend line. I can be a little bit more precision, right? Well, here's another opportunity for me to look and see how price is currently reacting to this trend. Okay, and it's easy to see it's a trend because when I get an extreme low here and I put it to another extreme low, sort of around here, you can see how other candles begin to magically, mysteriously, touch this trend line and how it interacts and interweaves with it. And so to me, that's very interesting. It's very fascinating because we are people of habit and we are people of, ritual. Okay. We're people of emotions. And so this represents emotions as well. I won't go into it, but I can see that this up push right here. I mean, we could just draw trend lines all day and you're going to see how price reacts to it. Like I would grab this right there. So here's an extreme low right here, and you can see how price is interacting. Well, on the hour, that doesn't really look like much except just a trend up, right? But if we go down to the 1 minute, where all the information lives, this is where the individual candles live, is what I call them, man. They're like little, a lot of information. You can see how price has interacted with this trend line. I mean, this is drawn on the hour. Okay, so we saw how it at roughly around 2:30, price just shot up way above that trend line. Right? It said, "Come on, let's go, fellas. We're going on a trip." Boom, and it just like takes off, man. Takes off. And it stays up in this area for a little bit. And it's like, man, this is cool, this is cool. And then all of a sudden, the ground starts to show up, which is the trend line. And they land on the trend line right here, right? And then they try to go up again and kind of just bounces on that trend line again. You can see this story happening, starting to play out. And it starts to lose momentum. And then all of a sudden, through the trend line, it goes right here. Okay, so that's kind of how the trend line happens. Well, then they start playing monkey bars. Y'all remember monkey bars? And they're just kind of swinging beneath the trend line. The price just is swinging beneath the trend line, right? It just kind of goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, until finally it gets enough momentum. Okay, because see how price can build up even as it's going up, meaning it's not making huge highs or terrible lows. It's just kind of moving sideways, but in the up direction, slowly. It builds up momentum, pushes through the trend line, and it actually makes a new high. And so this story of how price is interacting with this trend line is interesting because currently we saw a huge push again, and this is sort of the same thing happening, but on a very small scale. You're going to see how price repeats itself, how the story repeats itself. Let me just show you. You saw this big push, and then it started to go sideways, and then a little push up, sideways, and then here we come, a big push up, and then sideways, and then it kind of falls down. It does the same thing over and over. It just gets kind of smaller and smaller and smaller until it has to reverse. So that's what we're waiting for. We are waiting for a reversal. Okay, we're waiting for price to tell us, because we can't really make price do anything. But we're waiting for price to tell us that it's ready to reverse, and when it does, that means that price will kind of slowly start to make lows. Okay, let me explain that. If we go back in time, you can see now each one of these candles represents an hour. Are y'all still understand? Are y'all understanding this? I hope you are, because I'm doing my best to explain it. It's because I find it fascinating. Okay, it's just one of them things. It's like, yo, it's pretty fascinating to me. Okay, here's what it is. All right, when price fails to make higher highs, okay, when it fails to make higher highs, then it's going to slowly, at some point, make lower highs. Okay, let me explain that. And thank you guys for watching this, man. This is it's kind of the basic 101 of trading and day trading and leverage trading. Okay, so for example, here is February 2nd. Okay, February 2nd at 3 p.m. price came to this level here. This level is $35,705 on the Dow Jones. Okay, that means that buyers were buying this stock and they started to sell in this hour. And sort of almost at the close of the hour, they started to dip in price. And then the very next hour, you see that they started selling, which is represented by this long red candle. Okay. And so what you wait for is for price to, at some point, try to recover. And even though it makes a dip, as long as back up and make a high here, and then it starts to slowly come down, and then it makes another high, then price will continue to go up. But if it fails to make a higher high, then it will go sideways, which is what you see here. And then it makes a lower low, and it tries to rally up, and it fails to make a higher high here. See, this candle should have been up here if it was going to be a higher high. But what ended up happening was it's a lower high. It's still a high, but it's lower than its previous high. Yeah, the previous peak. Do y'all see that? So how do you know you're in reversal? Because it fails to make higher highs, and instead you're given lower highs. Okay, so then here, this dip, right? This dip starts to happen. Again, this little fall right here happens, and then price fails to make a higher high yet again. It makes a lower high. Yo, so when you start to get lower highs and price is failing to make higher highs, it's a good sign that you're in the makings of the forming of a reversal. Okay, all right, so how do you know you're in a legit reversal? When price, it's almost like, it's almost like if you get lost, right? If you're getting lost and you pass a tree and you turn around and reverse and you see that same tree. How do you know you just reversed? Because you start to see things that you saw before. In this case, we see a price that was lower, okay, and we pass it, right, and which would be this low right here, okay, where price came and gave us on this candle here gave us a low that was all the way here. Let me be a little bit more precise with my line. Okay. Oh boy, it's not going to help. Okay, there we go. All right. So as price came down, we see this price again. That's our tree, right? That's the tree that man, I just saw that tree. I must be going in circles. No, you might be in reversal. Okay. And so as we kind of match this price, the first thing we do is, I've seen this before. Let me get away from that and go up. But then we're in a reversal, so price comes back down through it. And once it passes through it, it's a good sign. You're in a reversal. And you can see here that price did reverse all the way down to the lower price range. Okay. So with that understood, where are we currently? Currently, we are experiencing a push up, okay? Which in this case, we reversed back up, right? Because we saw this line again. We saw that tree again. And one of the first things we do when we pass that tree is say, no, man, we got to come back down. We got to touch that tree. We need to see that tree again. Well, you're in reversal when you totally reject that level and you continue up, okay? Continue in the same direction, and you don't go fall for that again. You don't fall through that again, right? Okay, so now we are here at this particular point in price where we have seen this we've seen this price before, way back on February 2nd, and we have a chance to break through it and continue to go up, or we'll fall for the same thing and fall right back down to this level here. Either way, it's okay. I mean, it's not good or bad. Okay, I'm just saying it's always just good to know where you are in the market. Okay, and I kind of equate this to a map, because that's kind of how we navigate, right? So in this chart, it's sort of like we are the GPS, and we're trying to figure out how to navigate to the sporadicness. It seems like it's sporadic. So we've seen this price before, and that's where we are at today, right? 20 days, no, not 20 days, 7 days later, 7 days later, we are right back to where we started. Think about that. I'm telling you, there is all kinds of psychology happening in this exercise today. But if you notice, that's where we are. Help. You can take that and trash it. It's always good to have good creamer for your coffee, and that's not good. Yeah, messed up, but it was okay. I'll take what you got. Yeah. All right, back to the charts. All right, so I hope this makes sense to you all. I know it's a lot of information. It's taken me quite a bit of time to understand just even that much, but there's so much further we could go. So with that said, this being our time, right? New York Stock Exchange is about to open, and we're going to see some movement in the market. If y'all want to see that, just comment. Let me know if y'all want to see that on this stream. If not, I can cut this one short, and then I can go into our private group with some of our trading students in our private group. If you're interested in our private group, just let me know, and I'll just add you to that private group, and you can kind of dive even deeper in what this conversation has started. But since we've been at the same place that we started 7 days ago, we've pushed through it. Okay, let me just kind of wrap this up so you can, put a bow on it. Okay. That dotted line, that red dotted line here, I can change the color. Let's make it something a little bit more brighter. Let's go orange. Ooh, Here's what price has done in regards to what happened 7 days ago. 7 days ago, this was our high. Right before what happened, sunk all the way down. Now we have another chance to break through. Now we have another chance to make higher highs. Come on, somebody. I know it's just amazing. I love the analogies of this and how it relates to our decisions. Okay. So currently we made a high. We've failed to make a higher high. We've made a higher low. Thank you, my love. Okay. Good morning. We've made a higher low. Well, what is a higher low? I don't think I explained that. So you see how price comes up and it falls. Here's a low. Comes up and falls. Here's a low. Comes up and falls. Here's a low. Comes up and falls. Here's a low. Now this is kind of interesting right now, like as I'm talking to you. Price has the chance to make a new high up here or a higher low, which is what we've been doing this whole time. We've just kind of been stepping up, right? Stepping up slowly, staircasing all the way up, right? But if it fails, okay, this is what we got to be watchful for, because we've failed in this same place before to make higher highs. We failed 7 days ago and we sunk 7 days ago. We sunk all the way down to lower prices. I say we like it's us, but you know what I mean. We failed to make higher highs at this price point. Yeah, let's see the okay, we'll see the New York Open. We'll keep it rolling. I was just gonna start a Zoom call with you all, but but being as though this is my first stream on Facebook and YouTube, we'll just keep it going, man. If y'all interested in this, y'all just stick around. Or if you have to go to work, if you have to go do something, then come back and check it out. I'll leave it up here so you can kind of see what happens at 8:30. At 8:30 when the New York Stock Exchange opens. Okay, so if we fail to make higher highs and we start to see, like what we did last week, lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, and we start to see those prices again that we saw, those trees, man. I've seen these trees before, man. I've seen this price before, right? We start to reverse. Then we need to start looking at entering the market as with the understanding that price is going to continue down. Okay, and I'll just leave it at that. Because there's some more understanding that needs to be made. So, what do you do when price goes up? What do you do when price goes down? What do you do when price goes sideways? Whenever it's just consolidating? Well, I'll tell you, when price is going up, that means that it's going up from a low, right? Right. So as it's going up, I want to be in a buy just before it goes up. I want to buy when price is low. I want to buy when the price is low so that when it goes up, price gets higher and increases, and so does my profitability. Well, the same is true for the opposite. Okay, if price is at a high point and I want to sell it when it's most valuable. I want to sell it when it's expensive and there's high demand. Right? Because when I sell it, then I'm become more profitable. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so buy low, sell high. Still true, but it's just a different little outlook on when you're day trading. You want to buy it just before it starts to go, just before it starts to go up. Okay, so you're in as a buyer as price goes up and you're in profitability. And then as it comes down, you're a seller just before it starts to go down and you're in profitability. So that's kind of the difference between how you typically interact with like stock investments and crypto investments, and you have it in your wallet and you just hold on to it and hope that one day it goes up and up and up. Why? Because you're a buyer. But when you sell it, right, you only make that one time sell, and wherever the value of it is at that current price, that's what you make a profit on. And so that's a good way of looking at investing as well. Day trading is just a bit different. It's something I enjoy, and it's something that I like understanding. So currently, all right. Currently, what are we looking at? So I can go back to the news. Let's see if we have any breaking news. No, not just yet. Here's what I'll do. After all that, now I can look at the chart and see how we're going to be entering into this thing. But I always encourage the folks that I'm teaching, before you start to ask for anything, right? Ask for understanding. And this is where we get our understanding first. It's the verse of the day. First things first, get that verse of the day, right? We ought always to thank God for you, brothers, and rightly so, because your faith is growing. Hey, is your faith growing? Are you growing in your faith? If not, here's what I would ask. If your faith isn't growing, then who are your brothers? All right. We ought always to thank God for you, brothers, and rightly so, because your faith is growing more and more, and the love every one of you has for each other is increasing. So are you increasing in faith? Are you increasing in love? If not, who are your brothers? Who are you hanging with? That's what that's telling me. Who's got your back? Who do you call in times of, trouble or help? Who do you call for help? Right? I don't know what all these ads are playing on here. I'm trying to read the Bible and I'm seeing people get blown away. I'm seeing an ad for a game, man. Dang, man, you in faith, yo. Sheesh. Yeah. All right. So that's that. Verse of the day, man. If you haven't got the verse of the day, man, get that verse of the day. Make that a part of your everyday. Gold price has yet again failed to make higher highs. Oh boy. Price, what are you gonna do? Okay. So we're just gonna wait and watch. That's the thing about looking at these different markets and understanding how to invest. A lot of times, man, you're putting your money in there and you're just waiting because the market has to decide what it wants to do. Right? The stockholders and the stock investors and the hedge funds and and they put it into markets and they invest your money to try to gain more money. That's what a bank is supposed to do. The richest people in the world, they all have one thing in common. They all want to be the richest people in the world. I was like, yo, you got all the money in the world and you just steady trying to get all the money in the world. So you just gonna start making up money. Okay, you gonna make up cryptocurrency just with your name on it. Got it. You're already the richest guy in the world. You want to have your name on a coin, which is a sign to me. Oh boy. Let's not even go there, right? Let's not even go there. The market, okay? And now I'm just gonna break it down the best I can. So what are we looking for? Currently we are looking for a break of structure. We need to see a higher high at some point. At some point, we need to see a higher high, because if not, could be a sign of reversal. Okay, could be a sign of reversal. So, while we wait, as my good friend in Louisiana says, while we wait, we hydrate. Do you have your cup of coffee? Are you drinking your cup of coffee right now? Are you at the gym? Are you at work? Are you getting the kids ready for school? What are you doing right now? Because you could be doing this while you're doing that. Or at least you could be learning a new skill set. And that's what I hope you get out of this channel, is that you start to learn a new skill set. Okay. Maybe I got some time to take some questions before the market opens. It's 1 minute past the hour, 8 o'clock. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let me see if I can take some questions. Of course, I'm gonna be looking at Facebook, and there is a bit of delay. There's a bit of delay, so I'm gonna try to take your questions, and if you drop them, it may it may take a minute for me to see them. Actually 2 minutes. So yeah, just go ahead and drop that in, and let me see if I can take some questions, and as I see them, I'll just answer them. So yeah, go ahead and drop them in there, and I'll keep checking them out and answer them as they flow through. I appreciate you watching. If you watch this far, man, listen, you must be interested in this deal, because, hold on, we got to give our beard some attention real quick. We got to give the beard some attention real quick. We can't be looking all straggler. Got to keep that beard, keep it nice, keep it calm, man, keep it together, man. Okay, man. Okay, yeah, I see you, Jerry. Yes to the private group. All right, man. I'm gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna do that as soon as we get done with this stream, man. I'm gonna go find you. I'm gonna put you in that group, okay? It's a Facebook group, and there's a lot of information there. A lot of great people there. Just abide by the rules, man. Abide by the rules, and you're gonna learn a lot of good stuff, brother. The rules. There is so much that this involves, and rules is one of them. Without the rules, man, you're just kind of living in the wild, wild west. You know what I mean? Got to have those rules to live by, okay? So that you don't wander, or that you don't squander, okay? But those rules are good to live by. They help us make good decisions, right? I call them the 10 Commandments of trading. Y'all want to see them? The 10 Commandments of trading kind of goes something like this. And y'all, if you got them questions, man, go ahead and drop them. But I'm gonna go over this 10 Commandments real quick. All right, number 1, first things first, get that daily verse. So we did that first. We got that verse even before I even started the stream. I got that verse, man. That was important. Some of this you may not understand, but thou shalt respect the 200. If above, buys only. If below, sells only. And you know what I'm going to put right there? Asterisks. That always means that there's something else that needs to be said. Okay. If you don't know what that means, I can explain it to you. Okay. Thou shalt not enter a trade on the 830 candle. Talking about US 30, talking about the Dow Jones 30, and you'll see why here in a bit. Number 5, thou shalt use proper risk management. Man, I'm going to put this right here. None of these have this on there, but I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put 7 exclamation points right there, because that is important. Okay. Number 6, thou shalt honor thy rules. Honor thy rules. Okay. That's what we were just talking about. Number 7, thou shalt wait and watch price print patiently. Okay, that's pretty much what we've been doing this whole time. I've been talking. Is that as I'm talking, I'm just watching price print. I'm just watching price print. I'm just letting it do what it's gonna do. Okay, and I'm being a witness to it. I'm just witnessing it. I'm just watching it as it happens. Okay. Let's see. Go back. And then number 8, thou shalt not chase price. Now, I know this might be new to a lot of you, but to some of you, you know exactly what that means, don't you? You know exactly what that means. Come on, man. You focusing, man? What you focusing on? There we go. There we go. Come on. Perfect. All right. Number 9 and number 10. I left those blank intentionally. Those two, you are going to have to figure out what those rules, because those are your rules. Those are what you are going to have to understand for yourself. And you fill those in for you. Okay. I mean, for some of you, it might be thou shalt not trade with the kids jumping on my back, or thou shalt not trade in the car, or thou shalt not make trades and try to talk on the phone, or look, I've done all those, and all those are, you got to figure it out for yourself, but you're going to fill those in, and those are your rules that you are going to write for yourself when it comes to how to invest. Okay, without rules, you're going to have a struggle. It's sad but true. It's reality. Okay. All right. Let's see. I see the questions. Okay. What up, Mario? ¿Qué pasó, man? Will you ever jump on the Euro USD, or are you sticking to that US 30? Okay, then Chris says, I've been trading Bitcoin. Is that safe? You know what? It does not surprise me that you are trading Bitcoin. Oh man, Bitcoin. If Bitcoin wasn't invented now, it would have been invented at some point. It had to be invented. It's just where we are as a species. We have to give value to something other than ourselves. Okay. All right. So let's not talk like that. Let's be nice. I want to look at Bitcoin, and yes, the answer is yes. I do look at Euro USD. Actually, I did a whole back testing on Euro USD with a strategy that we have ever so genuinely dubbed the maniac method. Okay, because if you're watching this video and you've hung out this long, you must be a maniac. Okay, all right, so there's that. All right, here's a push-up. Okay, so here's my entry. Currently up $200 on 0.3 lot size. It's 30 cents. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Well, all right, we'll get into that later. All right, I was gonna say, well, where's it going? All right, here is Euro USD. We have some time to look at it, so let's look at it. Euro USD, man, it makes some pretty amazing moves. Actually, I'm looking at it closely. What I like about Euro USD, Euro and the American dollar are so close to each other. They're so close to each other that they, in value, that when it moves, it kind of just moves the same way USD moves, man. It's like, yo, that's kind of cool, It's so when the value of the euro goes up, right? The value of the dollar is kind of equal to it when it comes to trading. Okay, so here, let's do this. We're seeing a little dip. Hello, where are you? There you are. Let's try one more time. There we go. Oh God, help me, Lord. All right, let's delete you since you're not being cooperative. And I want to grab this color range. I'm on the 12-hour candle. I want to make this range on the 12-hour candle. Now, if you don't have the 12-hour candle available, you can do this on the 4-hour. You can do this on the 15-minute. Basically, what you want to do is make a range from the 5 p.m. The 5 p.m. to the 5 a.m. 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Okay, and this range looks something like this. Let me just throw this on here real quick. All right, here's Euro USD. Here's the 12-hour chart here. I'll make a little color range on the first 12 hours of this session that we're currently in, the current session. And then I go to, okay, then I look and I go and see where is a breakout happen. Well, a breakout happened at 4:30, then it entered into this range again, then it broke out again at 6, and then it kind of just went kind of crazy right there in the middle. Then it shot up, it gave us a new high, which is a good sign. We just talked about that. And then entered back into the range, so we could potentially be making a higher high here in just a little bit, or we could enter back into this range and kind of melt a little bit, and we just have to wait and see. So that's Euro. Bitcoin, oh boy, if you're trading Bitcoin, you must find with how sweet it is or something. I don't know. This is my mind about Bitcoin traders. Well, what I can see is that we made a very significant high here. That's a very significant high. 45,501 is a very significant high, and it seems like we're going to be in this range for a bit. It's rejecting this range for a bit. Is it safe? No, dude. No, it's not safe to trade. It's so sporadic. It doesn't follow rules itself. It's just so emotionally driven, because when price is low, people will buy. But when it gets a certain point and people start selling, everybody sells. They just get scared. It's too fearful of a currency right now. But if it were to fall back, if it were to fall down, I would want to see it come into this range right here. I'm going to draw it right here. We call this range the golden zone. It's a good little range to have right there. So, do I recommend trading Bitcoin? No, I don't. It's just so new. People are so into it. It's fear-based. It's fear of missing out. They want to, this. They panic when people start selling, and then everybody sells. It's like, ay, come on, man, just relax. Yeah. So if I look at the 4-hour, it seems as though we're kind of stuck in this. I call it a wick wiki area, right? A wiki range. Let me make that kind of dark, man, because it's kind of like a dark forest. No, not that color. That's the same as my 12-hour. Let's go dark blue. Yeah. So that's a wiki range right there, man. So we got 3 ranges out here. Okay. So we got the wiki range. Okay. I'll explain what the wiki range is in the group if you need help. Then we got the 12-hour range, and then we got the golden zone range. So looking at all those ranges, Bitcoin is going to have to do some work, man. And you're going to have to be patient with it. Got to be patient with it. But it does move. It does move. Now, if you're really good at our 7 exclamation point commandment, thou shalt use proper risk management, every trade, every entry, then it should be okay. You should be all right, because you're only going to risk 1%. Just keeping that in mind. Okay. Here's some good news about the Dow Jones, the US 30. The US 30 has it came up and made a new high, closed a new high here, closed a new high here, and now we're getting some resistance. So when it's at the top and it fails to go higher, then it hit resistance. It hit a ceiling. When it goes down and can't go down any further, that means we've hit a floor or support. So you have resistance at the top, support at the bottom. Okay, so I'm looking to see if price is going to continue to make higher highs and higher lows. Right here, it looks like we made a higher low. So that's good. Um, you just have to be patient. Gotta be patient, man. Gotta be patient. All right, who else has a question? Let me go over to Facebook. Facebook, are you there? Facebook, are you there? Hello, hello, hello. Yes. All right. ¿Qué pasó, Facebook? All right. Hey, if you're watching this, man, go ahead and share this, man. Let's get some folks on here. They probably came and left. They're like, man, you're streaming for an hour talking about this? Yes. I'm passionate about this. This is what yanks me out of bed a lot of times. Because I want to learn it. I want to teach it. I want to do it. I talked about this last night on my video. Go check that out. The last video I did. Learn, do, teach. And as you're doing that, you're going to be accelerating your learning, accelerating your understanding, man. So, yeah. So we watch price print patiently. Stay calm. Stay patient. I'm going to say stay calm and watch price print. Did I spell it wrong? I did. I put a W. Okay, that's fine. All right. Stay calm and watch price print. Let's go. Own it. Let's go. Come on. Stay calm and watch price print, guys. This is the key, man. This is the key. There's a good push up. That's a new high. We're up about $375. I love teaching this. This gives people at least an idea that they can do something different than what they're doing. You don't have to be stuck. The only reason why we're stuck is because we're not challenging ourselves. Have you ever felt like, man, I just feel stuck. I just feel like I'm not making any moves. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not doing anything. or I'm not doing what I want to do. Good morning. Good morning. So glad y'all are joining us. Thank you for joining us. I'm stuck because, I wish I could do this, that, the other. And my answer is, the only reason why you're stuck is because you're not challenging yourself. You're not challenging your mind. You would be surprised how much you can accomplish. You hear this all the time. If you put your mind to it, put your mind on it, man. You're smart, man. Yo, you are an intelligent being, bro. You are a part of a species that is highly intelligent. You just got to tap into that stuff. All right. So let me put some. I put some tools on here so I can see. Yeah, you are highly intelligent, man. You're a masterpiece. You can do anything you put your head on, your brain on, your mind to. It's just how much can you focus? How much can you focus? Your progress. Your focus is what's going to determine your outcome, dude. Okay? How focused can you be? Or do you get bored easily? Do you always have to be stimulated? Do you always have to be excited? Or do you always have to be happy? Or can you just be nothing? Can you just learn? Can you just soak up? Can you just understand a thing, right? Or look at something until it starts to make sense? Can you just stare at the screen, at what we're looking at right here, until it starts to make sense? Or at the slightest little bit of, I don't know what that means, I'm not gonna look at it. Are you just gonna stop? Are you just gonna quit? I bet you if that's how you are, you've quit all kinds of jobs. People who've had like 10 or 20 jobs in the last 5 years. I don't know, man. That's a different breed. I just think that if that is your way of thinking, because it's not a personality. man, I'm into all kinds of things. I'm into, people who say I'm into everything. I'm a jack of all trades. You know what? I bet you have more personality and identity issues that need to be you just need to focus on one thing. Just focus. I equate this to somebody who gets like their hair colored like a different color for every week of the month. I was like, hold on, pick a color. I mean, I particularly like the color that I was born with. But they gotta have their hair, dyed a color every month. It's like, why? Well, because it's fashion. Yeah. No, it's because you're bored. Oh boy. Anyway, that's just hope it's not true. But if that is your way of your thought process, and you can't settle your mind or calm your mind down to focus on one thing until you've mastered it, until you got to the point where it is second nature, it is just a natural ability right now, then I would challenge you, stop dyeing your hair. Your hair to one person might be watching 20 shows on Netflix, right? All in one night. It's like, yo, you can put your mind on that for that long? You can just do that? Yo, that takes a lot of energy. Have you ever gotten tired watching TV? Like your brain starts hurting. You get a headache and then you're like, man, I need ice cream. Drama, all the emotional drama. It's like, yo, you're gonna have to break from that. But see, you have the focus. You're just focusing on the weird stuff. Well, let me put it like this, because I enjoy a show right here and there too. I'm a Yellowstone guy. Okay, I like Yellowstone. I don't recommend it. Okay, at all. It is just the worst dialogue I think anybody could ever listen to. But if you watch it, okay, make sure them kids are out the room. But it requires energy to understand that story. It requires energy to remember. It requires memory, and it requires hard drive space, man. It requires all that to know all that stuff. But if you put your focus on that, and instead of putting it on that, put it on something that actually gives back to you in a way that is sustainable, meaning that it gives back to me so much that I got something to leave my kids. Instead of watching the series on Netflix, write the series for Netflix and put it on Netflix. Hello. Write the story. Film the story. Make it into a clothing line. I saw Yellowstone clothes at one of these stores, and I was like, see, somebody's idea about cowboys and this, that, and the other was far more than just a story. Okay. It was a business. This was what it makes. This makes me think. Oh, I gotta charge my computer. This makes me think that your story is more than a story. It's a business. Just gotta figure out how to tell the story. All right, give me 1 second. Let me go get my computer charger. We're just watching price print here. I can zoom in so we can see price print. And as we talking, I hope y'all enjoying this. If you're enjoying this, go ahead and give it a thumb up. Go ahead and get that thumb up. Man, I got no thumbs on this one, man. I need some thumbs. Y'all can't hit that thumb like y'all can't hit that thumb, man. That thumb. All right, give me a second to go. All right, so we are, let's see here. We are approaching the 8:30 candle. We got about, let's see here, 40 seconds? No, let's go here to the 5 minute window so I can see how much time I got. Not too much time, not too much longer. 2.5 minutes. Yeah, 2.5 minutes until we have the 8:30 candle, which is the New York Open. You're going to see some volatility in this market. I'm seeing a push up again, hopefully making a higher high. We'll see how close we get. All right. So glad you guys are hanging out. If you're watching this on a rebroadcast, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. I mean it. I mean it. I'm glad you're here, and I mean it. All right. All right. If you have any more questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments. I'm looking at my profitability today. It looks like I'm at $600. That's good. That's good. We're just gonna see if we can hit our target of 1-to-1, and then more than likely be done for the day. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Man, this is gonna be a good morning. This is gonna be a good morning. This is gonna be a good morning. All right. So I'm trying to decide, should I just take profit here or continue? Let's look at some other tools to tell me. I have these tools up here. Let me just go and show y'all my camera, my desktop. All right. These tools up in this area tell me if price has the strength to continue higher. So what I like to do is just kind of put, are you gonna make it there, man? Let's see, add alert. Let's go. There's an alert there. So if I get an alert, my target has been hit, and there's my alert. So that's about $1,200. Very good. I'll take it. I'll take it. So as I've been talking to you all, I took this trade live on YouTube and Facebook. Breakup structure on the 1 minute. Took that as a buy. Of course, we saw some drawdown. Stop loss was 31 points. The take profit was 31 points. That left us with, or that gave us a lot size of 30, or look at that drop. Now, I'm so glad. Well, y'all saw it here. Y'all saw it here. I'm so glad I got out of that trade, because that would have made me surprised. Let's just say that. Let's just say surprised. But why is it doing that? It more than likely wants to come back into this range. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that is a dip. I'm glad my alarm went off. So now you understand rule here. Thou shalt not enter a trade on that 8:30 candle of US 30, because all it wants to do, ladies and gentlemen, is eat your lunch and eat your kids' lunch too. Maybe you want to take a bite out of your kids. Oh boy. So what we saw here was a trend built up. A trend built up, right? We were trending up. We were trending in this direction here. And so what happens is, what happened was that there are buyers like myself who get into this market, US 30, who, as a buyer, they're thinking price is going to continue up. And actually, the trend actually started way back here. Yeah, we steadily were making higher highs and higher lows way back here since 4 a.m. Okay. And so, and when I say this, I don't know if you understand it or not, but within all of these up pushes are buyers, and buyers represent entries with stop losses, okay? Entries that have protected losses. I can explain that if you need to, but the reason why it wants to shoot down so much so quick is to take out all of these stop losses that are living right here, including mine. Including mine. My stop loss was right here, and it reached it. It reached it right here, man. It's like we want your stop loss. So I'm glad that I don't know. I don't know what it was. It had to have been just peacefulness. I was content to take profit. It came out to $1,119. So I'm up 10%. I'm up 10% in that account. So I'm happy with that. And now as we look at how this candle is forming, so if you got a sale on this one, you are I know how you feel. If you sold because you saw a big red candle, you, my friend, have fallen victim to chasing price. And we do not chase price, okay? Thou shalt not chase price. Well, what does price chasing look like? We saw price going up and up and up. And so now price is going down, down, down. We're going to be sellers. No, now price is going up, up, up. Now we're buyers. No, that is not a part of our rules. What does our rules say? Our rules tell us, well, I have to go over the rules. But we one of the commandments is thou shalt not chase price, okay? All right, we're not price chasers. Price chasers. Okay? We just trying to catch pennies. Ain't nothing but pennies in here. Of course there's millions and millions and millions. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? All right. We're just trying to catch pennies in this market. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of pennies in here, but we're just gonna be patient, stay calm, and watch price print. Now, you might get tired of watching price print and you want to get in some action. Totally understand that too. Okay, that's why they made Bitcoin. So here we see that we're breaking beneath our trend line. We actually broke beneath it and closed beneath it in the last 5 minutes. So 8:35 candle is now forming. Yeah, take a bite out of your kids. Do y'all see what this 8:30 candle is doing? To let price figure out what it wants to do. And while we do that, we can look at the Dow Jones now, and it looks as though, breaking news, NASDAQ jumps for a second day as investors continue to buy the January tech dip. The Dow is up 200 points, which we partook of. We partook of that, and looks like the green guys have it. Oh man, we might be in a bullish market today. If so, what could we potentially do as an entry? Let's go back to the 1 minute. What I would love to see, since we're already outside of our 12-hour zone, I'm going to get rid of this bearish zone. But this 12-hour zone, we still have an opportunity to enter, and I would look for another break of structure to enter at 8:45, not anytime soon. So if I see a break of structure now, who cares? But I am aware of this bullish order block. Now we're talking about some advanced stuff, guys. So all this stuff that I'm going to be mentioning now, you can learn about in our private group. It's a free group where we break down all the trades. We break down all of our outlook, and we break down all of our ideas. What up, YouTube? I'm so glad y'all are still hanging out with us. Wow. Okay. I see the bullish order block, and as we exit the order block, I would look for a break of structure. In the next several minutes, though. I also want to look and see where am I at in terms of pivot points. Okay, so pivot points, order blocks, breaks of structure, imbalances, mitigating, and all that is all advanced. So if you know what that means, you're advanced. Accelerated learning, I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so we bypassed the liquidity pool, another advanced term. We bypassed the liquidity pool of the 830 candle, and now once we do let the market settle down, it's kind of like a chihuahua. It's like the 830 candle is a little chihuahua that's been locked up all night, and it's just ready to go and let me out of the cage because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just run around. I have a dog that does this every morning. She's not a chihuahua, but I'm gonna start calling her one. Hey, it's like a little chihuahua, man. Just comes right out the gates, just ready to rock and just look, just don't have no sense. Can't just calm down. Everything has to be just, everything's on fire and everything is urgent. This, that, and the other. That's what the 830 candle is, okay? That's why we don't mess with it. Okay, don't enter on this sale. If you're thinking, man, I should be in a sale right now, you're not thinking right. Okay, if you're thinking I should be selling right now, no man, no man, no man. Don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't do it. So it seems as though price is coming and retesting. I love this because it retests this point here, which once was our resistance point. Look at this. This right here was our resistance point, meaning that there was like a barrier to price right here, and price did not push through it. So that was our ceiling. But now that ceiling is being tested as floor, as support, right? We're seeing if that price range, it's 35,700, right? 35.7, if it can hold as support. If so, then price has a good chance of just continuation in the upward direction. Well, how far up can it go? Let's look. I'm going to bring up another screen that's going to show us. I'm getting an alert on something. I see you. Oh, that's an old alert. Okay. Let's delete that. All right. Okay, so it looks as though it's building up support. Whenever you see price drop down and start to go sideways, or even start to go further down and sideways, it's trying to see if it has support there so that it can go higher. Okay. So if it does have support at this range, and it's a range, it's not a price, specific price, it's a range. Here, let me get rid of some of this stuff so that you can make sense of what I'm talking about. Okay. Because when we talk about structure, price structure, that means that it's building something. It's a structure, like a building structure, correct? And every building has a foundation or a support, right? Well, how do you know when price has given us support? It means that it found a level that it can't push down through. And you'll see it by all these wicks that are forming and not pushing through. And at this point, this top of this purple range, right? The top of the purple range is looking as though it's giving us good support. Now, if it breaks through the support, then the support is not very stable. But that doesn't mean we still can't continue up. It just means that, it won't be up for long. It'll come crashing down. But the more support we have, the better chances, the higher probabilities, because we don't really trade off of chances. We trade off of probabilities. And so it has two rejection wicks here. So let's see if price is going to give us that support and break of structure. So the break of structure I'm looking for is on the lower time frames. Since we've touched the bottom, seems as though we touched the bottom, now I would be entertaining a buy actually at the end of this candle, because we touched the bottom, right? So at the end of this candle, we would enter in on a buy. It might be still too soon, but based on our rule, once it breaks out of this 12-hour channel, we buy. And stop loss would be roughly 50. Take profits up here. So let's see. Here is 50. What is 50? That's 8 cents. So with 8 cents, we buy. What? Okay. Didn't want me to use 8 cents. All right, so we are entering, looking for a break of structure and a higher high. Okay. Let's see. And I know I broke a rule. I feel like I broke a rule. We're still on the 8:30 candle, aren't we? We have a minute to go. So because of that reason, this is a very high risk. So instead of using 8 pennies, I've used 2, which is fraction of the percentage. So it is a bit soon. It was a bit early, and I understand that now. So I gotta always pay attention to the time. What I do like about the 15-minute time frame candle is the rejection wick to the bottom, which means that price is rejecting and finding support in the lower price ranges, which our probabilities are high to go into. Well, I want to go to where it finds its next level of resistance. Okay, its next level of resistance being where? Where is the next level of resistance located? Like specifically, I want to find it. And how do you find it? Let's see, I'm at a 1-to-1. I would take a 1-to-1, but let's see where price could take us. I might need to go to a higher time frame. I'm going to jump to a 1 hour, and let's see where price could potentially take us in this bearish push. All right, so I see that there is a potential opportunity to reach this level here, which is $36,000. So I would say right at $36,000 is where I would want to see price reach. That's good right there. Let me look. Yeah. Now it's giving us a rejection wick to the top. That doesn't intimidate me, not one bit. All right, not one bit. So we have to just be patient now that we're in a trade. Oops, don't do that. Now that we're in a position as a buyer, we're looking to see price continue to the upside. And as I'm looking at the Dow Jones on CNBC, I'm seeing that the bulls got it, man. The bulls got it. The bulls got it for the rest of the day. We may see a correction. We may see a correction that could potentially try to do what it did at 8:30 and just hit our stop loss. We're out, and then price runs, right? Which at that point, I would just be interested in just taking that loss. Okay, the loss is worth it to me. But as long as we're making higher highs, higher lows, then I'm interested in holding this. So this would be my second entry for the day. Based on our breakout rule, breakout of the Maniac channel, and then we continue up higher. We continue up higher to 36 is what it was, I believe, 36,000 from where price is currently 35.7. So roughly 300 points. 300 points. Which is really great, or you call them pips. But I would also be interested. in knowing what this level here is this little gold line is a resistance level, and it looks like that's 3.5. So from 357 to 358, that looks like about 100 points and some change. Yeah, so 135 points. It's a very good risk to reward ratio, which I'm more likely to see price jump to that level. We'll see. We don't know. The only thing we know is how much we're risking. Okay, that's why we have this rule. How much are you risking? Are you risking proper risk management? In our case, it's 1% per trade. Well, in this case, it's less than 1% for me, which is really safe. Okay, so I'm risking, I'm risking minimal, less than 1%. So let me just recap why we entered into this second trade. It was based on this wick that touched and found support here, and then gave us a break of structure here. So this was a tad bit early. It was about a minute early because you don't enter on the 15-minute 8:30 candle, but it was a tad early. I entered at 8:42. So a tad bit early, and now we are in the profit. So now we just have to manage our trade properly. Okay. And what I noticed was that if I had held this trade, the entry from yesterday, good Lord, it just flew. It flew to the moon, man. Had I just held, here was the entry here, and it ended up coming to where price is currently. And I just thought, wow, had I held this on the hour, for an hour, for several hours, the LMI indicator never turned green, and never turned red, and it is still not turning red. And I'm just noticing on the hour that there is some imbalance in the market that we can have left to mitigate. All right, man, I see you, brother. Let's copy this. Let's copy this link. Okay, I'm gonna copy this link and I'm going to share it here. Let's see if I can share it here. All right. So, man, if y'all still hanging with me, I appreciate it, man. How amazing to leverage technology like this. Copy that. Yeah, maybe you can copy that. I'm not sure. Hold on, man. I can just drop it in this message too. So we're watching price make higher highs and higher lows. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is to make sure that price continues to make higher highs, even though it may drop. It may drop quite a good bit, It may drop and try to, especially if there's imbalances. Like right here, we're seeing a drop in price. A drop in price that may want to challenge this trend line, or it may want to challenge or find support. When I say challenge, I mean, can it find support in these lower? Wait and watch and anticipate that price does in fact hold support in this area. Okay, in this area of, what is the area? My entry is between, let's see here, support, 35,700 to 35,750, right? If it can hold support in that $50 range, it's a good probability, a high probability that price will continue to the upside. So we just wait and hold and be patient. Hey, Jeremy, I appreciate you watching, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Man, it's awesome. I'm glad you're sticking with us and checking this out. If you have any questions, man, just let me know, man. I can do my best to answer those, man. So we're just watching price print. Okay. I'm also going to be taking a peek at, let's see here, at the Dow Jones. Okay. All right. So you see price come down to the entry point and and it breaks through my entry point. Now I'm looking to see if it wants to enter into this bullish order block, which is all in my negative zone, all right, or in my gray matter. I don't even like calling it negative because it's not negative. It has to go down before it can come up. It has to build up before it can go up anymore. Um, and it's giving us a higher low. It's giving us a higher low, which is a good sign. It's a good sign. We want it to give us a higher low. We don't want it to just sporadically just shoot up, because what shoots up really fast has the potential to come down really fast and really hard and unexpected. You know, I want to be able to be uh, mindful of what price wants to do. You know, it's going to do whatever it wants to do. I just want to be able to confidently enter into a position like I am now, and enter into a buy and watch price oscillate and go up and down and ebb and flow and find its rhythm and continue to the upside, which is what it seems as though it wants to do. Now it's going to get resistance at some point. At some point, it's going to get resistance, and it's going to have to go into the lower price ranges and build up and correct itself. Okay, but I want you to be patient. I want you to understand that that's a part of price movement. Price action requires higher lows. As long as we don't drop beneath the previous low, price is going to continue to go in the direction that we're wanting. And just like that, we're back in profit. So the patience to be able to endure the drawdown, right? The understanding of to be able to endure the drawdown. This is why people who are buying Bitcoin are selling Bitcoin at the thought of news, right? Or at the fingertips of somebody's tweet. And when you panic and you get out of a position, you have forfeited your opportunity to continue to profit. You know, you forfeited your opportunity to continue to reap where you did not sow. Okay. So as price figures out how it's going to stabilize, right, is where you kind of like being on a boat, you know, how, in rocky waters, right, in treacherous rain, right. uh, how does it find stability in the ocean of the motion, right? The motion is like causing a lot of people to get sick internally. What do you do to overcome that? Well, you have to look to the horizon to make sure that you have mentally a reference of what straight is, right? And you use that instrument internally to understand, like, I know I'm leaning this way, I know I'm leaning this way, right? But I can tell that it should find balance, right, at some point. So this is all psychology, man. This is how you emotionally navigate through ups and downs, right? And if price were to give us a turnaround and hit our stop loss, right? Hit our loss to where we have to now endure a loss. Are you intelligent enough emotionally to process that? Okay. Are you intelligent enough emotionally to be able to understand that it is a requirement in order for us to make higher highs? Sometimes we have to go through lower lows. Man, I'm trying to tell you, this is why I started teaching this. This is why I started teaching this, really to give people understanding of their own emotions, their own understanding their own emotions and how they emotionally react as opposed to emotionally navigate. Because a lot of times the conversation is you need to be more responsive than reactive. No, no. A part of navigating is knowing when to respond. You don't have to respond to anything. I can withhold my obligation to respond to anything, whether it's a high or a low. I don't have to respond. I can put my hands in my pockets and just sit here and relax and hydrate myself and still breathe. Whether the I go through a loss or I go through a win, it don't matter. None of that matters. What matters is, am I able to stay calm while price prints? Because price is still printing. Even though I have an entry, I've entered into it. I've put something of what I think is my own in it. Do I still have an emotional attachment to what I just put in there? Are you able to emotionally navigate through life's ups and downs, wins and losses? Do you understand what that means? All right. So, man, I'm telling you, man, I could talk about this stuff. This stuff fascinates me, man. So we're in profit, about $400 on one account and about $40 on another account. I like trading those. So 15 seconds till the top of the hour. And we'll see if price wants to come crashing down or if price is going to hold support. And it looks like we'll see right now what it's going to do. All right, so it opens bearish. Okay, it opens bearish right at our entry point. You know, it's not like price doesn't know, you know, like it's not like the market doesn't know where we entered. The market just knows where it broke structure, and the market knows where it found support. So at some point it's going to, I'm telling you, man, as you just watch price print, you're going to see if you're entered into a position, even if it's like I call them a phantom position, like, okay, I'm going to enter in, but it's not going to be with my own money, right? It's not going to be with my own investment. It's not going to be with my own resource, but you're investing your time. You're investing your attention. You're investing your energy in watching it. So you have an investment in it, even though it's not a penny. It's still your attention. It's still your time. Okay, so what is your time worth? Because so all that to say, you know, you slap an entry on there and you wait and watch. And the same way you feel about it and you're emotionally tied to it when you have nothing penny-wise in the market is the same way you need to practice having an entry and a position when you have a penny in the market. Okay, that when you've supplied a penny. And so that's kind of what the thought behind it is. You are the supply. You are supplying the market with a penny when you enter in a penny in your hand. The market. Okay, so it's just an exchange. You're just exchanging from one hand to the other. And the more you're able to exchange at a certain moment in time, right? And however much you are able to partake from it, right? Put that one penny there, and I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm going to put another penny here, and I continue to flow, and put another penny there, and I'm going to continue to flow. Put another penny here, and I'll continue to flow. Psychology of money, the psychology of currencies, the psychology of flow, man, the psychology of ebb and flow, up and down. It's like I'm just watching price print. That's why I have the music playing. I'm gonna turn this music up, man. If y'all can't hear me, that's all right. I want to listen to the music, man. Come on, man. Look, that's a vibe right there. If that don't make you feel good, I don't know what will. They said, winning the trade will. I was like, well, if you want to take $40, take it. If you want to take $400, go ahead and take it. Nothing's stopping you. Nothing's keeping you from it. Just be aware of where you are and why. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and take. Let's see. It just jumped from 400 to 200 to 100 to 90. See, just like that. It could be gone. Gone here 1 second, gone the next. Um, give Price an opportunity to give back to you. You've spent all this time watching. You've spent all this time watching. Why would you want to hurry up and get out of there? Are you under some kind of threat of losing? No. Of losing too much? No, not at all. Because you have a stop loss, you have a guard, you have protection. You have a fortitude, which means that I'm going to expose only a little bit, and then everything else is going to be stopped. If it gets too much, I'm gonna close it up. I'll be like, nope, you can't have that. Okay, that's kind of the idea of stop loss. Like I dig that, because I mean, no matter what, I cannot lose more than 1%. And I'm willing to lose 1%. It's like going fishing, right? It's like throwing a worm putting a worm on the hook, throwing the worm in the hook in the water. I'm willing to lose that hook and worm in order to catch. But because I brought enough to the pond, if I lose this 1% of my worm supply, oh, it's okay. I got more. It's all good. I got more hooks too. Don't just think of the worm as your investment. You got hooks there too. You got a fishing pole that could be ripped out of your hands depending on how big the fish is, right? And then that's an investment that you're willing to put in a vulnerable state, right? And expose yourself to that opportunity for loss. This is an emotional exercise. It's an emotional exercise. It's one of those things you really have to practice. You have to practice. And what's better than practicing with a penny? So currently I have 2 pennies in the market. Right now I have $30, $40, $45, $47. That's kind of going up and down. On another account I got $400. Now neither one of those affect me different. They're both the same. It's just I got maybe I got one account that's able to manage those. Now it's up to $600. Now I got $50 in another account. So it's like, it don't matter. What matters is I know where the fishing is. I know how to put together my bait and hook, and I know how to patiently wait, and I know how to teach people how to fish. You know what I want to do though, I don't want to just leave without anything, right? I don't want to get out of this thing and not have something to show for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to target 1 to 1.5, which is a good risk to reward ratio. Okay, it's a risk to reward ratio that I'm willing to endure the drawdown for, and invest the time in watching and practice the emotional intelligence of it. And so what I would like to do is, now that we've reached a certain part of our goal, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss, which is going to be represented by this line here, and I'm going to move it, to this area right there, and I'm going to change the color to red. So if price does decide to come down and touch that stop loss, then I'm going to go ahead and take profit. Okay. And I like that it's above the 50 mark. So I'm going to come right here based on this wick right here. Price may just come slamming down and take that stop loss right here. So before I lift my finger and say this is where I want it to be, I'm going to give it 1 more minute, because there is some imbalances here. And I'm right at about $60, $70 on one account, $700 on another. Let's see how price responds to one more 30 seconds, 30 more seconds. Let's see how price wants to respond. It has a good chance of hitting our target, but let's see if it wants to touch. And I think it does. I think that it wants to mitigate some of the imbalances that were left. So what I want to do is I want to move this stop loss just before it hits it. And I'm going to move it here, right on this candle here. And so as it's mitigating that imbalance, it's also going to be looking for support. And if it finds support, it's going to continue up. Okay, so the next candle opens and it's bullish. All right, so it continues into the bullish. I like looking at the Dow Jones and seeing if there's any changes. Nope, still looks like green guys have it, right? The green guys have it. Okay, all right, give me 1 second. All right, so as we're continuing to watch, it looks like it's challenging that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take profit here on one account, and I'm going to let the other just roll. I'm going to let it roll. I'm going to let it go. So I took profit on one account, which hit right here. So my stop loss was hit in profit. That's guaranteed. And the other one is just going to be back break even. So I'm going to move. Let's see, am I going to move this one? Which one am I going to move to represent that? Okay, there it is. I'm going to move this guy to break even, okay? Meaning that I don't win and I don't lose. Well, just put like a little bit in profit, okay? But it's really like a break even, okay? So if it comes down to, it's got support there. Okay, so maybe one more push. All right, there it is. So right at break even, we take out the other entry. So, man, that's trade management. Like, you should be really content with those two entries. Hopefully you were able to take those with me. Or were you in profit? Did you take profit? Are you still holding? Are you still in the trade? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, so there's the rejection off of our entry, and now price has the opportunity to continue to the higher price ranges. And if you are gonna continue to watch, then you're gonna watch price make higher highs, gonna make higher lows. At some point, it's gonna make a correction, and I'm still gonna target this pivot point right here. So one of the things that I think that I would, because it's always good to go back and well, I know that I entered it a bit too early. So really be mindful of the time, and really pay attention to that 8:30 candle, because it's just a lunch eater, man. It just wants to bite your kids, man. It's like, you got to watch out for that one. I'm trying to think, I think it was a good entry. I think that there were, like now. So we took 3 entries today, 1 break even and 2 wins. That first one that we entered based on this breakout structure was a really good entry. And I'm glad we took it, and I'm glad we got out on a 1-to-1, because that candle right here, it wouldn't have taken us out, but this wick down here would have. So, well, it would have got close. Probably with the spread, it would have taken us out. So I'm glad we took the 1-to-1. And man, being able to just understand emotionally what's happening. I mean, like, yo, you can't beat that. You can't beat just understanding like what it feels like to be in this kind of, I mean, look at this movement. It's textbook up and down, and roller coaster, man. It's like hills and valleys, you dig? It's like hills and valleys, y'all. It's like, whoa. Yeah, it's like hills and valleys. It's like hills and valleys. You gotta buckle your seatbelt, right? And if you're really, really adventurous, unbuckle your seatbelt and relax. Okay, just relax. All right, so I'm gonna go real quick before we jump off of this stream. I'm gonna go to the 15 minute and just kind of look and see what price is doing. Yeah, it's giving us a good wick to the top, which means that there's a lot of resistance there. But we're also getting a good wick to the bottom, which means that there is a lot of support there. So what I think I would do is I would monitor price movement in both of those areas. Now this wick here, boy, that 830 candle left us a large wick to the bottom. You see that large wick to the bottom, and the bulls came out on top, so that is a bullish order block. So as we exit the bullish order block, you could potentially enter a new position, which would be here, right? So here's a new position based on the exit of this bullish order block, and that we would target. There's a bearish order block here, so we could potentially target just that bearish order block. I just wanted to show you an example of like when and where to potentially get another entry. Still deploying the same amount of patience. 754. Okay. So 754 is the entry, which is there. Stop loss is really could be here. I think it's at 80. Let me see real quick. What gives me a 2 cent? Wow. Could be 90. Yeah, 90 points. So I have a 90 point stop loss, which is here. So 90 point stop loss, which is there. And I think that I want to let this just run. This may be our runner. So one of the things you want to keep in mind is you want to cut the losses short. There is no need to move stop losses, right? If it hits the stop loss, just cut the loss short and let the runner run. You dig? Okay, so now with a 90 point stop loss, that gives me room, that gives me time, that gives me confidence, that gives me the ability to target even higher. Okay, that gives me ability to target even higher. I was targeting here, but I think we got out here at this red level there, so that was a stop loss hit in profit. Okay, so we're just going to wait and see how price responds or reacts to these certain price levels and see if we get higher highs, see if we get higher lows, and just continue to monitor what this entry wants to do in this market. Okay, I gotta hear some music. Let's turn it up a little bit. All right, I hope y'all got something out of this stream. I hope you understand. Whoa. I hope you understand a little bit of what's going on in the market and how to manage trades, how to enter trades, how to re-enter trades, how to risk management properly, actually. What to expect when you have drawdown, all those things. All those things are a requirement, man. All right, so As we always like to say here, if it ain't making pennies, y'all, it ain't making no sense. So we just keep watching price print. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see y'all next time. All right.